Hey Rad World, welcome back to Rad Entertainment. Today we're doing a year in review on video games. This will be our top 5 games that we actually played, so if we didn't play it, it's not in our list, but it might make an honorable mention. I'm Tony Walters.
I'm Dan Murphy. Sorry, I forgot my name.
That's alright. Do you have any honorable mentions first?
Honorable mentions? I don't know. I had some games that I really liked at the beginning, but then after a while, I just kind of stopped playing them. You know, I don't know if I lost interest or if they just didn't keep my interest. And one of them was Division, The Division.
The Division was a game that we played earlier on the channel. I think it was actually our first replay episode that we did, and it was really fun for like 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
It started out like this game could be a real good one.
Right.
And it wasn't.
Yeah, you ran out of things to do really quick in that game.
Right. And then they released a crazy map pack that was ridiculously hard that nobody could do, and it was just stupid.
I don't even know that I stuck around that long to play
it. You didn't even get that
far. No, we did one episode with it, which is a really funny episode if you go back and check that one out.
I will, yeah.
It was before we had face cams and stuff like that, so it was like really early on in the show. Aside from that, any other?
Another one like that was Doom.
Yeah. Doom is one that's on my list.
I loved Doom. I even really liked the multiplayer of Doom.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
I got hooked on it from the beta, but it lost me about halfway through.
Yeah, I haven't beat it.
And it took me till about level 3 or 4 to actually be like, this feels like Doom.
Right. Yeah. But this Doom was actually did justice to the franchise. Yeah. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It did.
And I really like the kind of arena-style shooter that it brought back. Something that I've been missing for a long time, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited for what they're doing, bringing back arcade-style shooters, all these classic games, and kind of rebooting them. And Wolfenstein was great, Doom's great. I'm excited to see what they do with Quake.
I didn't dislike Doom.
Yeah.
It just, for some reason, it didn't keep.
It just didn't make your list. It
was close.
Yeah.
You told me to pick 5, Tony.
Pick 5, yeah. I know. That's the thing. That's difficult when you have a whole year worth of this year though. For me, we've had a lot of older games this year, and because of doing the show, I haven't really had time to really stick up and play all the new stuff. So it was kind of hard for me to come up with a top 5 actually. My number 5 would be Doom. That would be the first one on my list, just because I don't currently own it. Charlie's got it. We played it on the show. But it's a game that I want to get. I want to find time to beat it. I just haven't had the time.
My number 5 would be Watch Dogs 2, I think.
Yeah, do you like you like it?
I do.
I played the first one. I haven't played the second one yet.
I liked the first one, but then it became a disappointment.
Mm-hmm. That was with me. It was kind of fun.
Once you mastered everything, it was okay. You know, but the second one works the same way as the first one. There's just more to do.
It looks like they let it be a little bit more ridiculous, which was fun because in the first one the game took itself really seriously, and that kind of lost a little bit of fun.
It is ridiculous. Some of the themes are not. It is, and it's got some violence in it, and it's got some moments where if you watch the characters in the game, you can just stand there and watch the game. Come to life, and there's a lot more going on in just that than Grand Theft Auto.
That's cool.
It is cool. It's a good game. So they've added more elements to it that they hadn't from the first one, and made it a bit more relaxed.
All right, I think that my number 4 would probably be Gears of War 4, which I don't know. It makes the list because I really like the Gears franchise, and the game is a solid game. It's totally fine. As far as it's fun, and it's been a while since the Gears game has come out, but the thing that disappointed me about the game is that they didn't really bring a whole lot of anything new to the game, except you fight robots now, which is I guess that's new, but it's the same. It's just the same game. If you like Gears, the storyline it's interesting, it's fun, it's fine, but the multiplayer in it is really fun, and that's
what made it for you, was the multiplayer.
Yeah, the multiplayer is really fun. It's a third-person shooter, multiplayer.
Anymore, a lot of games,
kind of cool.
It's not about the campaign or what you want to call the campaign. Right. It's about the whole everything.
Right.
Some people buy it for this. Some people buy it for the multiplayer.
Yeah, but Gears of War for me has always been campaign. I've really never gotten super into the multiplayer on them. Gears of War 3, I kind of did a little bit, so that's why with this one I was like, I'll try out the multiplayer. And it is actually, it's a lot of fun. They put together a pretty solid multiplayer.
I guess my number 4 out of what's on my list would be Skyrim Special Edition. and only because I haven't played it much.
Yeah.
So
I haven't played it much either. I've only got a couple hours into it.
I've got more than that in it, and I'm pretty far into it. But I really like the game. I'm obviously never played it before, but some of the other games like that got me into that type of game. You know, the open world game with all these side missions all over the place. This is definitely one of the better ones, and maybe one of the ones that kind of pioneered them all.
Right. Skyrim is my all-time favorite game. Dragonborn tattooed on the inside of my arm.
Definitely.
Skyrim's my all-time favorite game, but with the HD remaster, like it's probably like number 6. I got 6 games. It's on my list of 6 games. It's probably number 6 on my list, only because it's just an HD remaster, and I'm not a huge fan of those, but I am very glad to have my favorite game easily accessible to play on Xbox One or PS4, whatever, on current gen console. But at the same time, I was hoping for maybe a little bit more from it. Just visually, like it looks good. It's good, but it doesn't look as good as what I kind of thought it would.
I was expecting more. And the remaster thing too. It's I have my thoughts on that, but I never played it before. So, that didn't matter so much to me on this one.
Exactly.
But I just recently had started playing the remaster of Modern Warfare, and that's incredible.
Yeah.
That would have been on my list, and it would have beat out Skyrim had I not just recently started playing it.
Yeah.
But it looks amazing, and it feels nice to play it because it's old school.
Yeah.
And I started on the PS3 with Modern Warfare.
And I never played that anyway, so with it being remastered, maybe now I'll try it out and see what I've been missing, because everybody lost their mind when they said they were doing an HD remaster for it.
It's brilliant. That's the only reason we got
the new Call of Duty.
We got the new one because I'm tired of jumping around and I'm tired of that. They've done it in the last 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And speaking of boring,
of jumping around, a nice little segue. My number 3 is Titanfall 2.
Well, there you go.
And that's the reason why in Call of Duty you get
that's
the
why
jumping
you
around.
like it. That's where it comes.
That's why I like it. It's fun. The first Titanfall didn't have a campaign. I don't know if you are
I'm not familiar.
The first Titanfall was just a multiplayer shooter, no campaign at all. And a lot of people felt like they were cheated of a full game, because you still paid $60 price tag, but it was just a multiplayer game that didn't have a whole lot of options. It was really fun and had a lot of potential, but didn't really go anywhere. It was like, you played it for a month or so, and then you're like, well, what do I do now? Once you've unlocked all the stuff, exactly. They had some DLC stuff, but I feel like the initial crowd kind of died down when their DLC stuff came out.
Right.
But with Titanfall 2, you get a full campaign, as well as really solid multiplayer, and it's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. You jumping around on walls and just kicking robots over cliffs and stuff. It's a ton of fun. And jumping into a giant robot and running around and shooting other giant robots is a lot of fun.
More of a serious kind of.
See, I'm a sci-fi shooter guy. Like, that's my favorite stuff. I'm a Halo fan.
I like that too. Oh man, that's tough. Now you're making me pick a top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably Uncharted 4.
I've never played an Uncharted game.
They're brilliant. They're one of my favorite series. And this was a great game, but when you get to 4, it's hard for it not to be a lot of the same thing.
Right.
They've made it better, and it's a great game, and it's always the stories and the characters, and you immerse yourself in a playable movie. They're really good, They also did The Last of Us, but it's a good game. Real good game. One of my favorites.
Yeah,
The series, the series. The 4th game was great.
Right, that's kind of how I felt about, I think Gears of War 4 was just it's the 4th game in the series. It's actually the 5th game in the series, but it's Gears of War, the 4th one.
It's like when...
what else are you going to do to it?
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
And with that type of story,
solid.
It's like when Indiana Jones got to the point where they had to make that stupid Crystal Skull movie.
Right.
Right. It's like the first 3 were awesome, and then they f***ed it all up. So that's what the 4th one felt like to me. Not that they screwed it up. It's a brilliant game.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
My number 2 is Overwatch. And I haven't gotten a chance to really play this game as much as I'd like, but it is one of the best, different style first-person shooters that I've played in a really long time. The way that, it's made by Blizzard, who made, Diablo and, World of Warcraft, things like that. But It's a shooter made by Blizzard, and it's just it's a solid game. I don't know. Have you played Overwatch at all?
Mm-mm.
It's like there's like tanks and healers, and
Right,
so it's a
right.
strategy game.
I get the kind
so you
of
have
game,
to build your team based around different abilities, and then you have to all work together as a team using your different abilities, like putting up shields to help your teammates out, healing people.
See,
like
for
one guy
me-
can turn into a turret. Like there's tons and tons of different
I would love
it's
to
chess.
get into a game like that because I love the strategy. But my problem is I don't have time to invest in
That's my
into
problem.
a game like
That's my
that.
problem too. Is I love
So,
this game.
I don't
but
play
I don't
a
have,
lot of those games.
Yeah, but I don't play it nearly.
I mean, I got a lot of big open world games that I like that but this year, I feel like with what I could get away with playing, they're all quickie games.
Right, and that's how I am, and that's why when we get to it, my number one is gonna piss I think a lot of the internet off. So.
So now I got to pick a number 2.
Yep.
Man, see, my number 1's gonna seem a bit of a downer, but
Hey, it's whatever you have the most fun playing this year. It's
right,
fine.
exactly. Okay, so my number 2 then would be Battlefield 1. I'm a big fan of the Battlefield series. I much prefer to play the Battlefield games over the Call of Duty games, just because of the realism and the teamwork, and it's.
I haven't played a Battlefield since 3. I think was the last one I played,
3
and it was fun.
The one that definitely made my mind up.
Yeah.
Hardline was kind of awful, but as far as this series, Battlefield, they're my go-to.
Yeah.
And I actually put off buying one for a while just because I had other stuff and I didn't want, and I'm glad I got it. It's a very good game. I mean, in all aspects.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of gameplay for it. I've got friends that just rave about it. They really like it. They've been trying to get me to get it so that I can play with them because every Saturday that's what they do is play online.
It's one of them that you definitely look forward to getting together with your friends to play it, but you better have, if you're doing it like that, you better have a day put aside.
Right. So, number 1 pick for me for this year's games, my number 1 pick is Cluster Truck. And the Cluster Truck is a very stupid game where you jump, it's first person, and you jump from truck to truck and try and make it through these puzzle-style maps.
I'm familiar with it a little bit, but, that's PC, right? What's the platform?
It just came out on Xbox One here recently, but it was PC for a while. It just came out on Xbox One. And this game is just really dumb. Like, it's just dumb fun. It's something you turn on, you play for like an hour, and then throw the controller against the wall and come back to it the next week or so. I'm stuck now. I'm on the last level. It is the hardest thing that I've ever done, like in a video game. I cannot beat this level.
And then you must have never played
I'm going
Bloodborne,
to.
Tony.
No, I didn't play Bloodborne.
You must have never played that. My number 1, gosh, see, it was hard when you said pick a list.
Uh-huh.
To me, it's like there's a lot of older games I play that I still play.
Right.
That are still getting good updates, like GTA 5, for example.
Right.
You can't help but not keep playing that. So it was hard.
Yeah, I was just playing it today.
It's hard, right? Me too. It was hard to pick one that was my favorite. But I guess if the most fun I had with a game this year was Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Which
for
PS4
it came out
right,
this year.
It was the 20th anniversary or something like that, and it came with a lot of cool add-ons and extras, and the game as a package is what makes it the number 1 for me. Plus sentimental value.
Right. Tomb Raider franchise has always been one that was close to my heart, and I really liked this whole reboot that they did with, what was the first one was?
Oh man, I can't remember the name of the first one now. The one that this is the sequel to.
Right. Yeah, that one was I think, was it just Tomb Raider?
I think it was just
Yeah, it was just Tomb Raider, and then
yeah.
they re-released HD remastered the definitive edition of it.
Yeah.
But, so the Tomb Raider definitive edition, well, I played Tomb Raider on PC, actually, when it first came out. I played it on PC, the reboot. Loved it so much that I rebought it when I got my Xbox One. I bought the definitive edition. I was like, I'm going to play this again.
So you've played this one?
I have not played the new one.
You have to.
I have not played the new one, and it's one of those ones that's on my honorable mentions list, like a game that I have been meaning to buy and play.
The thing I like about it the most
it.
is when I remember playing Tomb Raider when I was younger, a lot younger. It was one of the few games that you'd sleep over at your buddy's house, we'd stay up late playing it, kind of thing. I remember the frustrations of that game for me were finding how to get the hell out of the places.
Uh-huh.
And the one before this, they made it too easy to navigate, whereas this one is a little harder.
Is it?
And there's more ways to get around, and it makes it more fun to play.
Right. That's what I heard from a lot of like reviewers and things, was that they brought the Tomb Raider aspect like back into the game, because the first one was a lot of fun, but it did play out more of like kind of like an action game, kind of like an Uncharted in a way.
But they point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and they're letting you. This one's a little bit more open world.
It's way more, yeah.
And you can, and like all the tombs or the puzzles are a lot more challenging and things like that.
They got a 2-player like multiplayer survival mode where you have to survive out in the wilderness. You know, try and keep warm and eat and so on. You know, which also has a zombie mode. You can play that with. There's just a lot of cool stuff. And it still keeps the same, you know, feel. It's good. It's good. They did a good job. Number
Cool.
1.
All right. Well, there you go. There's our top 5 video games of the year. What do you think about our list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Check Dan out, hmmfilms.com.
Thank you, yeah.
And you can follow us at Rad Entertain on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow myself at TonyWalters_. And we'll catch you guys next time on Rad Entertainment.